Practice.
All right. Welcome, everyone. This is Gentle Restorative. We're going to start off gentle. We're going to move into restorative. We did a moon salutation on Monday. It was more standing positions. So I'm planning on keeping it closer to the ground since we just had that big full moon in Aries and we are moving into eclipse season. So hang on tight. I think the first eclipse is October, wanting to say 23rd or 25th, somewhere in that range. All right. So something that I wanted to talk about before we get going. This is actually something that Allison and I recorded yesterday and we put out last night. And there's a yogic principle involved in this, which is why I want to bring it up. So there is something in Feng Shui. When you look at Feng Shui and they focus on the energy in the space, whether it's the energy in your home or the energy in your office or the energy in your car or the energy in your business, right? How is the energy flowing through the space? In other words, you want to start noticing where the cobwebs and the dust bunnies always going. They're stuck in stagnant energy in that portion of your home. Clean and clear it out. Notice where your pets tend to congregate or lounge most of the time. That's usually where the good energy is in the home. And then start to notice, what are you keeping around in your home or your work environment? Is it things that you need, or are you holding on to things just in case? All right, so I learned this from Feng Shui at first. Why are we holding on to things just in case we might need? And the Feng Shui practitioner said that's basically telling the divine you have a lack mentality and you don't trust that your needs are going to be met. And that really struck me in a way where I've remembered it all this time, all these years. And we can apply this to really what's happening right now in the world on a bigger scale. Think about, since the pandemic, how, inflation keeps happening with our food, inflation keeps happening with our fuel. I mean, I know it's gone down, but it's starting to inch back up again. But we have a great amount of resources on this planet. The problem is there's just a few people who control it. And those few powerful people that control it, unfortunately, we're dependent upon, right? So there tends to be a fear factor when the media or the experts start talking about, oh, there could be a recession. We could be moving towards a depression. There could be an economic crisis or an economic collapse. And so I don't want you to move into the mode of fear with that, because for years now, I've been saying there's fear and then there's love. So if you are stockpiling tons of food, if you're stockpiling tons of water, if you're taking out all the cash from your account, then it's really an act of fear. Can you trust and surrender to the unfoldment of the changes that are occurring and trust that there's something more powerful happening behind the scenes? My feel is those few powerful people that control everything are not going to be in that power much longer. The power is going to come back to the people. The resources are going to be available for all, but it takes each and every one of us in the state of consciousness that we're in to put it into the mass consciousness in the world so that we're having that impact. You see what I'm saying? We have a state of consciousness, but there's also a mass consciousness. And unfortunately, the mass consciousness that's out there is just putting out fear. So it's up to us as yogis to find our center, to drop into our heart, to trust our soul, to trust there is a divine order, to trust there is a higher power, and that our needs will be provided for. It'll be hard to do, but not hard to do if you just drop in and you apply the yogic principle. So the yogic principle I want to bring up, so I know Sharon knows this because she's been through teacher training. It's called Ishvara Pradadana. And it means trusting and surrendering to the higher power. That is a yogic principle. Trust and surrender and know that your needs are going to be met. I could literally write a book on this since I started yoga. When I took this path, I lost my health insurance. I never gained it back because I don't work for a corporation. I am a living testament to the fact that you can let go of all the so-called things that you're supposed to do, and you can still have your needs met over and over and over again. Sometimes it comes out of thin air. Sometimes it's from a person we just met. Sometimes it's from just a situation or an opportunity that just presents at the perfect timing. I had the perfect mechanic when I lived here in Franklin because he knew I had a lemon. I had this Mini Cooper and it was a flat out lemon and it was in the shop so often. And there was one time I went to start my car and it wouldn't start. And I was like, again, seriously, I just paid a couple $1,000s to fix this car. And I was just like, oh, wah, you know? And I was like, well, I was decided I wasn't gonna stress out about it. I called one of the karma yoga people. I think it was either Julie or Kathy. I'm like, can you come pick me up, take me to work? I had to call AAA, had them haul my car off to the mechanic. And the next morning he called me, he says, Robbie, I woke up in the middle of the night thinking about your situation. And he said, this piece that needs to be repaired on your car is not even really needed in your car. Can I just take it out and I'll charge you $100? Otherwise, it's going to be another $1,500. Take it out, right? So I want you to think for a moment, when we get supine on our back, I want you to consider a time where you may have been stressed or may not have been stressed, but someone or something just came through out of the blue for you that gave you a break. Okay, because that's what we're going to be relying on in the next few months, year or two. Okay, so let's go ahead and lie down on our backs. And let's separate the feet and place the hands on the belly. Close your eyes. And just settle down into this position, onto your mat, closer to gravity. Let your muscles relax, the bones get heavy. Notice where you feel a little heavier in your body. Perhaps it's your head and sacrum. Maybe it's your buttocks and feet. Just notice. And then start to allow the belly to bellow more as you breathe. Because once you take the breath under your command, you're going to be able to expand the lungs more. Think about every breath as a way to feeling yourself up, feeling your cup, filling up your heart. And look at every exhalation as a way to release, to let something go, as a way to settle and center within. On your next in-breath, I want you to fly the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, walk your feet over to the right corner of the mat and then swerve the upper body the same way. So you're making the shape of a crescent moon. Remembering the crescent moon is an ancient symbol representing consciousness. And remembering the state of our individual consciousness has a direct impact and influence upon the collective. Now that you're in a side bend, focus on what you're feeling in your side body. Where are you feeling this position more?
Try to keep your heels, your buttocks, your shoulder blades, the back of your hands rest. Feel that left lung inflate and deflate. On your next inhalation, let's go ahead and slide the feet over to the left corner of the mat. And then you'll take your upper body to curve over that same direction. Notice if it feels similar or different on this side. Maybe you feel the stretch in a different region. But regardless of where you're feeling it, try to explore sending more air into the right lung. Filling it up the bottom, the top. Filling that lung up from the front to the back. And remembering when we do these diaphragmatic breaths, it's not just great for digestion, it's good for our lymphatic system, and it's a great way to reduce stress. On your next in-breath, you're going to create a star position. Sliding the feet wide, your arms wide, and your head is going to be centered in between the shoulders. Chin in line with the chest. On your next exhale, go ahead and draw the knees in, wrap your arms either behind your thighs or in front of your shins. Apanasana. A great pose when you're feeling any discomfort in your low back or any pain in your abdominals. Affirming here, I reduce my scattered forces to rise up and away into the sky. And then go ahead and slide your legs out in front of you. Sail the right leg up towards the ceiling. Catch the leg if you can, taking your hands behind your thigh bone. Press the sole of the foot up towards the ceiling, and then engage and power up the left leg on the floor. So I know sometimes we use straps with this, so imagine that you are using this strap that's pulling the toes down in the direction of your knee. That way you can stretch your hamstrings and calf muscles a little bit more. Well, we're going to begin walking up the tree here. So on your next inhale, go ahead and lift the head up. Walk your hands up the back side of the leg. And then as you exhale, walk the hands down and lower the head back down. Continue this. Inhale, walk it up. Exhale, walk it down. Inhale, walk it up. And exhale, walk it down. This time when we walk it up, we're going to hold it. So squeeze your belly. Elevate your left foot now and point your left toes. Hold your right leg with your right hand and now shoot your left arm out towards your left foot, and that may help you to even lift your shoulders higher up off the floor. Take one last deep breath. And then exhale, lower the left foot, left hand. Go ahead and lower the back of the head. Bend the knee and draw it in with your arms. Now flex your right foot. Bring your left hand to hold down your left hip. Take your right hand to the top of the knee and then stiff arm the leg so you're straightening the right arm. So that knee is now pushing away from the chest. All right, hold the underside of that right knee and open the leg out to the right towards the front door. Flexing through your left ankle, pressing out through the left heel. Holding a supine variation of Padangusthasana B. Now bring that knee through center, swap hands to hold it with the left hand. Extend your right arm out shoulder height and spin the knee over the body. And take a supine twist. Keep the right shoulder down. Open up the breath of life. And affirming here, life and energy is flowing through me. Unwind from that twist. And then extend your right leg out. And fly the left leg skyward. Hook your hands behind your thigh. Press the foot up towards the seat. Elongate through the right leg. Power it up. And just be here. Padangusthasana A. And then we'll do walking up the tree. So go ahead and begin to walk the hands up towards the calf or ankle. And then exhale, walk it down and lower back to the mat. Twice more. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, taking it down. One more time. And then on this fourth one, when we come up, we're gonna hold. We're gonna elevate the right foot. We're gonna point the right toes. We're gonna take that right arm and shoot it forward and out, pumping that belly in. And then lower the right foot, right hand, lower the back of the head, Padangusthasana C. And then bend the knee and hug it in. Giving a little compression here. Right hand holds down the right hip. Left hand stacks to the front of the knee, and then you stiff arm the left. So you're straightening the left arm. And then take that knee, send it off to the left side, so you're externally rotating from the hip. So whenever we externally rotate from the hip, it also works some of the glute muscles. So you are getting some work in the buttocks as well. Go ahead and lift that knee and take your right hand to hold it. Send your left arm out to your left side and then spin the knee across your midline. It's not about getting the knee to the floor, but it is about trying to keep the left shoulder to the floor. Don't force the twist. If you can breathe a little bit. And then gently release the knee and unwind from the twist. Stamp the left foot down to the sticky mat, slide your right foot back to join, roll to one side of your body, and begin to come up. All right, once you come up, we're gonna sit in a cross-legged position to start with. And the hands are gonna be located on the lap. And so you know, like the cat-cow is this maneuver, but we're gonna circle and do cat-cow. So it's kind of a blend between the Kriya and cat-cow hybrid pose. All right, when you're ready,
you're gonna circle the torso, adding in the cow as you move forward, adding in the cat as you draw back. And if that feels awkward to you, or if you can't quite build up to that coordination, you can just do the Kriya. And the Kriya is the one that you just keep the spine straight circle. This is one of those poses that I like to do with the eyes closed. Back to center. Swap the feet the opposite way. Hands back to the lap, and then you're going to take it in reverse. I like to breathe in as I move to the front. And breathe out as I roll back. There's maybe opposite of that. Do what feels intuitive for you today. You can go at your own pace. Sometimes going really slow feels good. And sometimes moving quicker feels good. And then coming back to center, flip your hands open and pause. And you may notice that just working through the trunk this way, you may feel like you're sitting up a little bit taller. You might have release and tension in your back. You may feel like you're starting to become more connected to your heart. Open the eyes. So I want you to have your fingertips reaching down to the floor, and we're gonna lift one shoulder up towards the ear, move the wave into the arm, hand, fingertips, and then we take it in reverse. So I want these waves, and I like to kind of move my trunk from side to side, but you don't have to. You can sit still with your upper body and just maneuver the arms if you want. So we're not necessarily doing breakdancing, but in breakdancing, they call it snake arms. And they would go in from the shoulder to the hand and then back from the hand to the shoulder, right? We're not really doing that. Belly dancers also use snake arms, but they're not as big and billowing as this. So let's take them into like more of the medium version of it. And so what this is representing today is the idea that we can all be in the flow of abundance, justice, peace. And then you're going to make them more minuscule, smaller. Whew, this is where the muscles really start to ache a little bit. Do you feel like you're at a hippie concert? Just drop some acid. Strobe lights going. Yeah, smell of the joy in the air. All right, let that go, because that's a lot. Rest your hands open, close your eyes, and just feel that. Might actually experience some of the circulation spreading. Might feel a flush from your shoulders to your fingertips. You might just feel the percolation of energy waking up in your body, or even some heat. Arms. Crack your eyelids open. All right, what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna turn, so my back's to you in just a minute, but your left shin's in front and your right knee's coming behind. And I'm thinking about Debbie right now, who's online with us. Debbie, you could actually try this from a chair so that you don't have to do this with your knee. But anyway, we're gonna inhale, lift up, and exhale, walk it forward and out. So this is called or considered kind of a half pigeon. If you want more in your hip than maybe what you're receiving, you can look at how you design that front leg. So in other words, if your left foot is kind of closing in towards your right thigh, you're not going to be getting as much. But if you send that right ankle out away from the thigh, so that shin is going parallel across your mat, it's going to give you more work in your hip. So the left hand is going to stack just behind the left hip. And we're going to reach the right arm back towards those curtains. Good, when you're ready, you're going to sweep the arm across and overhead. You're going to tuck and lift away from the ground. And as you exhale, you sit back down. And as you inhale, you sweep the arm out. As you exhale, you bring it back across. As you inhale, you tuck and lift. And as you exhale, you sit down. As you inhale, you open the right arm. Exhale, send it across, and then inhale, lift up. And exhale, release. All right, we're going to swap sides. So now the right shin will come in front. The left foot will be alongside the right or left hip. So this is what I meant, because you were already in the pose earlier. If this foot's kind of closing in towards the groin or inner thigh, it's going to give you less in the hip, and you might need that if your hip is, really tight. If you're more open in your hips, which I know some of you are, then the shin's more parallel to the short edge of the mat. Lift up energetically and then fold into it. Once you bow over, find your edge, where you can comfortably hold and comfortably breathe, but feeling the work and the sensation. So this idea of trusting and surrendering is Shara Pradhana. It's more of a psychological, spiritual aspect. But forward folds in yoga are the physical representation of letting go. And this water element of this area of the body is about trusting and surrendering and being adaptable to change. I heard recently that every 12,000 years, the earth moves through this place in space that has tons and tons and tons of photons, light particles. And we're going through that now. Think about the light particles raining down on us that maybe we can't necessarily see, but is definitely there energetically that we're absorbing. Think about that holding information from the cosmos. On your next in-breath, we're gonna walk the hands back in. We're gonna stand the right hand just behind the hip. And then we're gonna free up that left arm and you can gaze towards the hand hostage. And as you sweep it across, you lift it overhead. And then when you come down, you sweep the arm back. We're doing this 3 times over. Once you release, let's keep the right knee bent and we'll stretch the left leg out in front. Now, if you have a troublesome knee, don't feel like your foot has to come all the way in towards the pubic bone because that's a lot more flexion. Have it lower down the leg. Find what works for you. Lift the arms up overhead. Exhale, release into Janu Shirshasana. I want you to think about your navel flying up and over the thigh, your heart flying up and over the knee. And then micromanage your breath. Arming here, which goes back to our theme. Left and right and all around life's harmonies are mine. And I'm going to add in, I trust my needs will be provided. All right, inhale, reach the arms forward. Allow the arms up to lift you back to center. Flex that left ankle, and as you exhale, turn to your right. Let the left hand fall to the bent knee. Let your right hand descend to the ground behind your back. And then see if you can pull with your left hand, push with your right hand, and maybe go deeper in the twist. Exhale, unwind. Lift the right knee. Slide the foot out. Bend your left knee and then open that foot. Told you we're staying closer to the ground. Lift the arms up. Exhale, pour over. And right, all around life's harmonies are. Inhale, reach the arms out, come back to sit. Exhale, curl to the left, right hand to the bed, left hand behind your back. Pull with your right hand, push with your left hand. Only if you want that additional effort added in. I want you to take a moment while you're in this twist to consider the things that have been happening around the world, right? Explosions, the tsunamis, the hurricanes, the landslides. And we're lucky that we've been untouched in this area. But consider sending your love and compassion to those that have been impacted. By affirming, I radiate my love, goodwill, and compassion to soul friends everywhere. Exhale, unwind from the twist. All right, bring your other foot join the left. So in the last class, I want you to think about when you pull your heels in, does that, I mean, obviously it's not gonna be reflection of knees, is it aggravating your hips? If it is, slide your feet out a little ways. They don't have to be pulled in so much. And then see if it makes a difference for you. Explode up through your chest. And then as you exhale, begin to hinge forward. You may find that it's a little bit more accessible, doable. Baddha Konasana. I think this is an important affirmation with our topic today. Secure in myself. I accept whatever it is. Secure in myself. I accept whatever it is. So a couple years ago, I bought a bunch of food. I was hearing about making food shortages. So I bought a bunch of food, and I never do that. I shop like a European. I shop for like the next 2 or 3 days. I had all this food packed away, and a year later, I had to clean out the pantry. Guess what happened? I threw 3 bags of food away. Complete waste. I refuse to do that again. I absolutely refuse. That's hoarding. Inhale it slowly, come back up. Hoarding is greed. That's also a yogic principle. Don't hoard, don't grasp, don't be greedy. Slide your legs out. We're gonna bring the bolster now behind your back. You may want to block at your right side. Betsy, flip your bolster over. Oh, it may not bother you, but
Yeah.
the zipper always bothers me. So make sure the zipper is on the bottom side. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna lay back into our back bend. If you want some more hip openings, you can slide your right foot in and then turn out from the right knee. If you need support, you have your block beside you and you can plug the block under your thigh. Does anybody need anything? I can bring you something. I'm gonna turn the overhead lights off. We're gonna begin our restoration now. I want you to say internally and silently within, I am important. I am valued. I am loved and supported. I am important. I am valued.
I am loved and supported. I'm giving you 5 minutes on each side if you're wanting the hip work. 10 minutes if you're just wanting the back bend. So if you're in the back bend, remain. If you want the hip opener, lift the right knee, slide your right leg out. Slide your left foot in. And then if you need to block underneath your left thigh, you can plug it in. Anytime we switch positions, you want to come back to your breath. So the mind doesn't get stirred up. In fact, you can go ahead and recite those affirmations. Plant a positive seed of thoughts. I am important. I am valued. I am loved and supported. And change our position for relaxation. The forehead and lift your left knee. Slide your right foot back to joints. Roll away to one side. And find a good sit. So we just did a back bend and a hip opener. We worked a lot with the legs. You bring your block side by side in front of you. And then stack your bolster up like this. You can sit the legs over. And then if you want more of a chest opener, you can bring your arms to the goddess position or in a wide shape overhead. This will be our place for Shavasana today. The first thing I want you to do is gaze into your mind's eye. I want you to picture a world that's fair, that's just. Picture a world based in peace and love, where everyone feels united, where everyone lends a helping hand. What would this look like? Be like, feel. Where we don't have to work to earn any sense of value. And our needs are met. Imagine being in a world where everyone is in the flow of abundance. A new paradigm shift. Where it's not about survival of the fittest. You're valued because you exist, because you're here. Adding in, I am important. I am valued. I am loved and supported. And if you want to continue to visualize, to feed this idea into the collective, if you would rather move into your breath and just observe it, maybe using this time for the recitation of Om playing in the background. Either way, you're helping the situation because you are aligning to yourself. You are connecting to source energy. Just being and breathing. Arms are overhead, bring them back down. And pick your feet up, roll to your right. Go ahead and slowly walk to sit. Bring your hands together, prayer. The light in me honors and bows respectfully to the beautiful light in each of you. Namaste. All for being present today, showing up, smiling, doing this work with me. And